Do you want to share the screen or something?
Through my network.
If you want to share the screen, everything. Now it's your show.
Yes, I will.
So you want to introduce yourself first, Alberto? You can tell us a little bit about yourself, and then.
Okay. I'm fighting with my headset. Well, I'm a certified public accountant. I'm mediator and negotiator. Basically, my activity in the alternative dispute resolution area is focused in online dispute resolution, basically, okay? I'm dealing with technology applied to conflict resolution for the last 15 years, when nobody cares about mediate online. I built a social network. The name is ODR Latin America, Online Dispute Resolution Latin America. We have several branches. We have ODR Argentina, ODR Peru, ODR Mexico, ODR Brazil, ODR Spain.
Aquí tienes un resultado de la web.
Sorry. And before the pandemic, we have been heavily involved in government programs regarding mediation, basically in Argentina and Mexico. We have been teaching ODR, online dispute resolution, in several countries. Basically, last year we trained more than 3,000 mediators. You have to take in consideration, Vikram, that Latin America, we only have 650 million inhabitants, comparing with India, the full region is just small down. But and also we have a lot of the problems regarding developing countries, okay, which we have high ratios of poverty through the region, with important difference. We have a two language in the region, Spanish and Portuguese, and which is only spoken in Brazil. In Brazil, you have 200 million inhabitants, and the rest is Spanish speakers. And I suffer a lot of very difficult situations before the pandemic. We and my colleagues, because of basically the historical mediations refuse or reject the idea of mediate online regarding the verbal issues, the non-verbal. And because Latin America is basically a new region, we have more or less 200 years from our independence, with a different situation compared with Asia, Europe. Mediation in Argentina. Argentina is the first country that promote mediation around 1995. And after Argentina started with mediation, the second important one was Brazil, but Brazil started in 2015. And now I'm very happy what we are doing. My network has more than 6,000 members dedicated specifically to understand what's going on with online dispute resolution. We run several programs, and now we are on the top of the training entities in the region. basically, from a transnational point of view, we are the most important. Only speaking about online dispute resolution, not in general. Okay. Well, I'm very happy to be talking with you and your network. I have a fantastic, a great friend in India. Three friends in India. One is Chitu Nagarajan. She is a fellow with me in the National Center for Technology Applied to Conflict Resolution at Massachusetts University, which is our research group. We also meet in, I also meet in Singapore 2 years ago, Sangeeta Manroja, and she was attending the signing ceremony of the Singapore United Nations Mediation Convention with me. And also I'm working with the people from Ex-Curia International, I'm international advisor, Ananja Nagrawal. And some other friends in India. Really, I'm very happy to be talking to you, and I'd like to recognize your tremendous effort to put in place this activity. We used to run huge online conferences, and that's why I know the effort to put such a program. This year in April, we ran the first online dispute resolution Expotech. It was a conference of 1 week with more than 60 participants and 15 software ODR demonstrations. I don't know if you want, Vikram, that I started with some presentation.
Yeah, please.
Okay, give me 1 second.
But yeah, Alberto, now out of the 1.3 billion people, at least now you know 4 people. So you have a long way to go. Lots of more people to know.
Okay. Well, this is, I'm sorry. I always forget that I have to share it. Okay. Well, now I think we are okay. Okay?
Yep.
You are able to see my presentation? Okay.
Absolutely.
Basically, I would like to share with you the story of the inception of the online dispute resolution in Latin America. Because basically, in our countries, we have an important mix between native people and a lot of people coming from Europe before or after the Second World War, okay? And we import some arbitration ideas from Europe, basically for Central Europe, where it was some tribunals in Spain, which was the water courts in Spain, in Valencia, or some rabbinical courts in Poland. And we don't have any important experience regarding native inhabitants in Latin America. In spite of that, the evolution of the application of technology to conflict resolution give fresh air to the alternative dispute resolution methods. We started in 2008 with our first block, which is in Spanish, Resolución Electrónica de Disputas, okay? Electronic dispute resolution. That was the first name that I placed in Spanish in order to start evangelizing about the possibility to articulate technology with conflict resolution. In around 2010, because the growth of our network, we switched to a weblog interactive, which is odrlatinamerica.com. Basically, we are the biggest library of technology applied to conflict resolution in Spanish. We have more than 3,000 articles. I will share more information in the following slides. But we ran in Buenos Aires, in Argentina, in 2010, one conference, of course, on site, which was tango and ODR. You can see the tango dancers and ODR. That was 2010. We did it with the support of the National Center for Technology Applied to Conflict Resolution and the police university in Buenos Aires, Argentina. It was full, 400 people attending the conference. Everybody got crazy about the possibility to mediate online. And after 1 week, nobody remembered the possibility to mediate online. That's why we continue with our work trying to promote this feasibility. Okay, and the development of ODR in Latin America was really a chaos. Okay, a tremendous chaos because there were no regulation specific with this feasibility, as Jackson Pollock describing his conversions. Okay, this chaos, and we start developing tailor-made issues for different countries and regions, trying to promote the online mediation. Through our network, ODR Latin America, this is our logo, and we also have partnership with ODR Argentina, ODR Spain, CBViews in Brazil, ODR Peru, and ODR Mexico. All of them are partners with us in promoting, teaching, and provide services of online dispute resolution through the region in their countries. We have 2 new branches, ODR Colombia and ODR Chile. And I'm very sorry this slide in Spanish, but perhaps some of you, I'm sure, remember the Jetsons. It was a cartoon in 1962 from Hanna-Barbera, where they have been talking about online classes, okay, video calls, masks, online medical consultation, and homework, okay? And at that time, more than 50 years ago, nobody think that this could be a real possibility, no? In Spanish says in the bottom, y parecía tan irreal, okay? Like a real, non-possible. But the situation that we are facing now, it's important to understand for the practitioners that the pandemic has a big difference brings us an idea that the difference between the war and pandemic is that in the war destroyed the fixed assets, and the pandemic, the circulation of the war, okay? But because basically we used to walk or to take a bus or our car in order to walk, to work in some place where our customers or the citizens came to request our services. And the war destroyed the highways, destroyed buildings, of course, destroyed human lives, but we have the possibility to still working at home. That's why we have to relearn or understand new ways to make money, which is basically the big issue. How to continue making money in our profession as mediator in a different scenario, okay? Where we are not able to circulate to work. And we have been forced to sailing uncharted seas with all tools because we have been able to make money staying in our work offices, in our offices, being from the government or private services. And what we are doing now, why we are having this conference, international understanding what's going on in other countries, because we must create new compasses to travel these uncertainties. This activity that we are having now, it's a kind of activity related with do this, to share experiences, to be global, to be transnational, but with one important issue. The important thing is start talking about glocal. The word glocal is a combination of global and local, okay? I could share with you part of my knowledge, but you in your country, whatever is your country, should be the ones who adapted my general knowledge or my advice to your local requirements. We in Argentina, it's a country with 40% of poverty. And perhaps our receipts, in order to close or to reduce the digital divide, okay, this, which is very important for us, could be also applied to countries who has the same percentage of poverty, which is different with what provided to us from the US or from Europe. Okay, it's very. We are now working very, very hardly in develop our own Latin American models of conflict resolution, because just reading William Ury or Ackland or whatever other important writer of alternative dispute resolution is not enough to apply from us in our universities. Okay, we have in Argentina, I'm the director of a program in one national university. When I say national university, I say a public university which is free. In our country, you have universities free of payment and private university. I'm the director of a program of of alternative dispute resolution. The name of this degree is you get an undergraduate program in mediation and conflict resolution. It's a 3 years program, and you get this degree in mediation and conflict resolution, which is, we are unique in Latin America. It's 3 years, 24 subjects. And we have, of course, 1,200 students now, and this degree is running from year 2004. And we provide this education on-site and online. In both cases, we are plenty of students. Our students are lawyers, accountants, union leaders, doctors, psychologists, teachers, professors. Those are the ones who learn how to apply conflict resolution in their organization, in their life. But when we start with online dispute resolution, we have a problem. How we could have, I call it cyber mediators, if we don't have real cases from the government, for example. Then this is the job is who should be the first, the hen, chicken, or the egg. okay, who started. And I create a program called Mediar. In Spanish is Simulación de Mediaciones a Distancia. Program of simulation of distance conflict resolution. We train our face-to-face mediators in order to get the abilities to mediate online. This program started in year 2012. And in order to kick the ball and start our training, we don't have any previous knowledge how to mediate online. We got 14 academic sponsors. When I mean sport academic sponsor, I don't mean money. Nobody put money in this. I mean they give us 2 students for 2 participants. We got 28 scholar and we have 28 scholarship students, 2 belonging to each sponsor, and we train them in the technical skills in order to handle a video conference room. That was very before Zoom, very, very early. We start working with a platform from India. The name was Dim. It's already out of the market because Salesforce bought Dim. But we start with an India platform under the name of Dim. Okay, that's funny because they support us very, very well, very kind in order to do this practice. But the most important thing in this issue was train our mediators in how to handle emotion in virtual environments. And we haven't any info. What happened is somebody cried through the webcam. Okay, with this forced simulation, we have been able to write the first protocol in order regarding the how to handle emotion in virtual environments. And I thought that the idea should be a pilot in an in-flight simulator. That should be how to train a mediator. It's like someone trying to land in an unknown airport, how to land a mediator in an unknown emotional situation. Okay? And this was the idea. Luckily, in year 2012, after we ran the CMediar distant mediation simulation program, we have been able to sign an agreement with one province in the north of our country. We have provinces like in the US, they have states. Okay, we have in Argentina 24 provinces. And we don't have a national law applied to all provinces. Each province has its own mediation regulation, mediation decree to mediation law, or some of them, they don't have any mediation regulation. In this case, we signed this agreement pro bono. We're still here without getting any money from the mediation business, but we had the possibility to get real cases from the government in Salto province. And we start building up a program through the province where they have community mediation centers, free for the citizens. But because the lack of technology regarding the signing of the agreement, we started with co-mediation. 2 mediators, one in each place of the province, and the parties sitting together with the mediator in a government office, and the mediator was the one who handled the technology, and the party sitting together with him for several reasons. First of all, in order to verify identity, because the mediator was an employee from the government, was able to verify the identity of the party, and also was the one who keep the agreement, if there was an agreement, with the signature of the party, and put it in an envelope and send it through mail to the other mediation center. I don't know if I'm clear with my explanation, okay? And this program still today working very, very well. Salta province has 70 community mediation center. They expand this program to the courts. At that time, they started with Dindin platform, as I told you before. Of course, today they are using Zoom, like everybody in the world, at least in developing countries, okay? There are platforms which belong to some countries. You have a very nice platform in India, Crack ODR. Do you know why the name of the Indian platform is Crack? Crack is because two of the pioneers of online dispute resolution, one is Colin Rule and the other is Ethan Cash. That's why this platform from India has the name Crack ODR. Well, this is the example of how we work at the beginning in year 2012. One courthouse in Salta. When the Salta government and the successful of our program give they the proof to go out of the province, they start exporting to other parts of our country, to our area of our country, the same idea, Salta and Rio Negro, around 1,000 miles, and the idea was party and mediator. For this specific situation, the courthouses start developing some special procedures in order to accept distant mediation. At that time, we start working with the Ministry of Justice and train a lot of lawyers and prosecutors from the government, and we moved this program to people in prison, okay? To give the possibility to have meetings between someone which is in jail with his lawyer in order to give them more possibility to have contact instead of just one per month or two per year, for example. At this time, we started working in Mexico. That was in year 2014. And we have a lot of ongoing problems with the judicial power. And of course, we had mixed training, on-site and online. We developed a site under the name of eMediar, which is a training program, international expert online mediation program. We have been working very heavily in Brazil. We collaborate in order to include in their law the last article number 46, which allows online mediation if the party living abroad accept the regulation of the Brazilian law. And we introduced the online mediation in Brazil in year 2014. Okay, this is the picture of the first time when I spoke about ODR in Brazil in 2014. To my left is my wife. She's a very well-known mediator in Latin America. She ran for 22 years, one of the biggest private mediation centers in our country. And in front of me have been a lot of people. When I was talking about ODR, most of them do this. Okay, facing that it was absolutely impossible. And my wife helping me, because when I finished, she said, if we are able to get in love through internet, I'm talking about the year 2014, why we have to reject the possibility to solve a conflict? And then 80% of the audience start moving in this way. I wrote a book, which was the first one in Spanish, Mediation under the Law of New Technology, and I put these sentences belonging to her in the book. Okay, I'm sorry. At this moment, I was talking with the president of the Supreme Court of Rio de Janeiro, referring to the digitalization of the judicial files. And they thought that if they put all the files into the computer, it will be fantastic. But the process still lasting 12 years. You have a trial in Brazil, you have to wait 12 years for the sentence. That's why they are going very, very heavily to mediation. Perhaps not because they believe in mediation, but they don't have any other choice. And this is a lunch after my presentation that I showed before. And this guy who is in my right was the member of the Supreme Court in Brazil, Ministro Marco Aurelio Gastaldi Bussi, in charge of set up the mediation in the country. And all other members of the Supreme Court, he said, Dr. Alberto, please tell to my partners why to have to use online dispute resolution in our country. And that's why they started in 2015 with online dispute resolution, and they have it in the law. It was just a lunch in Copacabana in Rio de Janeiro. This is the article of the law. In English, you have it. The mediation will have the possibility to be done on the internet or another media communication which allows distant transaction as long as the parties consent. Unique paraphrase, is it allowed that the party established abroad can submit the mediation according to the rules established by our law. Our next very, very important program was with the Buenos Aires city. It's a city of 3 million inhabitants. And we started a program called MEL, M-E-L, which means online mediation, Mediación en línea, with the Minister of Justice of the Buenos Aires city. But this is a program directly to parties and a mediator without lawyers assisting them. This program is free, and it has the following feasibility. If you have a problem and you need a mediation and you ask to the government for a mediation, you have, of course, before the pandemic, the traditional face-to-face mediation could be one mediator and the two parties, all of them online, and this possibility, one party sitting together with the mediator and one party alone, usually is because we have a lot of buildings belonging to European owners. And we have one party in Buenos Aires, who is the one who is living in the apartment, paying a monthly rent, and they have a problem with the apartment, with the utilities. But this mediation couldn't be done before because the party living in Spain or in France, they didn't want to come to Buenos Aires. That's why we run this idea of one party together with the mediator. If the party is not able to handle the technology by itself, and the party in Europe alone. Of course, most of the historical mediation, they don't like this idea that one party together with the mediator and one party alone. But this was the only possibility, and we decided to go ahead with this alternative, which has been very, very successful. This program is in place from year 2017. And at the beginning, we just solve online 30% of the mediation cases. Of course, today, 100% is online. And we offer also to the citizen another possibility, which is if the parties are allowed to sit together, but they don't have the technology, they are not able to handle it, they go to one governmental office with the technology operator and the mediator, each online. Because of our name, our good name and reputation, we have been contacted by the Japan government in order to sign an agreement, and in all the Latin America, we work with all the consumer issues in Latin America and Spain from Japanese citizens. We have been having a very heavy traffic due to all the tourist issue during the last year. In 2020, we trained in order to become online mediators in Argentina, Costa Rica, Chile, Ecuador, Spain, Brazil, and Mexico. And we run the biggest program in Latin America to train lawyers belonging to one province in Argentina and to train together in one shot 1,650 lawyers in May 2020 in order to give them the knowledge to handle mediation room plus how to handle emotion in virtual environments. And we split it, this number of 1,700 mediators in 100 learning rooms by the last name. And this was the way that they access to each learning room. I'm the director in my university also on a one-year program of online dispute resolution, okay? It's a program specific with 8 subjects only to become a cyber mediator. Those are the subjects, okay? First of all, we have to labeling the knowledge of our students, because we could receive mediators who has 30 years old or 99 years old. And in order to have a common glossary, we put them together in order to labeling the knowledge about the basic technology glossary, okay? We work with them in Orange Evolutions, state-of-the-art future scenario for online dispute resolution, internet, globalization, and communication in this century, use of social network for peace and dispute resolution, legislation and online dispute resolution providers around the world, emotion in virtual space and management protocols, online mediation in action, model, etc., and clearing cases, and the students have to do a final integration work in order to get their degree. We are running this program in 2 universities now, both public. Also, 2 years ago, we have been invited to the Singapore Convention of Mediation, but from the Minister of Justice of Singapore. And I give a lecture about standard for dispute resolution and the artificial intelligence age. This is the cover of my book. And last year and this year, we launched 2 free of cost magazines about online dispute resolution. This is the cover of the first book, which is solving conflict in the artificial intelligence era. And the second one, which I don't have it here, is Online Dispute Resolution Revolution. That's the name. Both books could be downloaded from the site of Online Dispute Resolution, ODR Latin America website. We are also in a new program, which is create the standards, the professional, the ethics, and the governance of Internet in order to get a Latin American standard and protocol for the practice of online dispute resolution. And we create 2 years ago a global register of cyber mediators. All the mediators in online dispute to okay, here expertise. And this is the example.
Alberto, can you just go back to this registry, because you disappeared for some time. So if you just go back to your last slide, and you can just start from there.
Okay, this is the global registry of cyber mediators. This is the way that the people see the page with the expertise of each one. And this is each cyber mediator profile, okay? You put, if you want, your contact information, your expertise, your photo, okay? And you could be reached from customers, clients, person, or other colleagues or mediator who has a problem in your country. I usually receive a phone call from Mexico saying, Alberto, do you know a mediator in Chile? I have a case, and I give the contact. Finally, I think, okay, if some people is calling me in order to do this, why don't we create a website and provide them the possibility to just go for their own and get contact information. And the next step, we are integrating an ODR software into this global registry of cyber mediators, which is this one, which is Todra, that we launched 2 weeks ago. Todra is a full mediation service, which means total online dispute resolution application. It's a service who provide the mediator the possibility to start with a waiting room for the parties. Of course, everything is online. Set up in its calendar, create the video conference room, and also has the feasibility to have electronic signature. Okay, now we are off because the region up to now was basically working with Zoom. This is like Zoom. For the agreement and the electronic signature issues. This was the poster of our last ODR Expo Tech, was in April 26 to 30. We had around 3,000 participants from all the region, when I say all the region, and we have 3 days in different language with automatic translation. We have one Portuguese day, one English day, and with Spanish day with simultaneous translation in order to get more participants involved. The next year, we will do again in April, the second ODR Expo Tech, where basically we focus in ODR experiences plus new technologies. Well, that's it. I hope I have the possibility to more or less give you roughly an idea about what we are doing now in Latin America regarding mediation and basically online dispute resolution.
Thank you, Alberto. I think you're a
Thank you,
pioneer in ODR. But look, let me tell you something. Of course, you speak about ODR, but ODR means it's a much wide term. Even the justice system, the courts, being connected to a online system is ODR. So are you being able to now distinguish between the larger ODR and what you want to do? Alberto, are you with us? But Bharti will get you in on that, what you were asking. I think that's what he's saying is really something which we need to definitely develop. Which I think is already happening now. So you want to come in up till he comes in?
We have a 2-year course currently. So we don't have a 1-year course of this kind. And the current course which Dr. Alberto has spoken about, it integrates the technological part, which is becoming extremely important since the COVID situation, and it's going to stay. So integrating that into the education field, Dr. Alberto has explained the syllabi and the various areas. So we need to have a streamlined and cohesive approach to this kind of education.
Which means you will be interacting with him to develop something there.
No.
Well, you should, of course. Look, it's a vast market that we have here. And with his experience, I think a lot can be used. I think that's what we have to discuss with him also, what his experience, because this is the things that he had put into place. Now, let us see how it translates into actual work. That's the important part. So I think that's what he'll have to tell us. But Alberto is still not with us. So I think that is important. The whole setup with he's doing with those community mediation centers and all. I think that part is something we'll have to see what the actual ground realities on that are. But anyone wants to come in and anything that they want to say, please. You can put a message there on the chat. But what else did you like about you were saying? Replicate this in India. Simulating in India. Okay, the mediation only for lawyers. That's the other question that you have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Replication is there were pictures, website with pictures, and the areas that they were specializing in. So something like that for people to get to know where to get the services. So replication of that was what I spoke about.
Yeah. Okay. So basically,
because we are training, but people don't know that we are there and where to go to in case of any. They know only going to court.
Yeah. Okay, so let's just fill in Andrew in it. And you joined us a little late. Let me tell you what's been happening. Basically,
thanks, Vikram. Just finished a meeting.
No, I understand.
Sorry, I missed it.
Basically, no, you haven't missed it. Alberto is just frozen a bit. He's going to come back. Now, basically, he was talking about his ODR setup that he did in Latin America. He's done a lot of work there. So that is something which, I mean, he started off very, very early. So he's like a pioneer there. So now we had questions for him. So he's, like I said, frozen. Now Alberto is back with us. So Alberto, you're back with us? Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I had some internet. This is the other problem. Some internet cut.
But how do we
And
do
I
that,
was
Alberto? We have to
sorry.
we have to do online dispute resolution. If we don't get our internet connectivity, where how is this?
Well, we are saying now that internet, to have access to internet, is a basic human right.
Yep, absolutely. But now, Alberto, you have
just to give you an idea of what's going on, it's just a book. 723 pages, launched 1 month ago, which is Online Dispute Resolution Theory and Practice. This is in English, and was made by most of the fellows of the National Center for Technology Applied from Conflict Resolution.
Okay, you can maybe take us through, you can take us through the book little. I'll ask you to take us quickly through what the book says, but before that I want to ask you, this is the setup that you did, all the getting everything together, but what is in terms of the work, what really happened, how much work came out of it, how many people are using mediation through online means in Latin America?
And now it's you have 2 stages. In Argentina, it's 100% mediation is online. Nobody today, we still are living in quarantine. Okay, if you mediate online or you die. No possibility.
But okay. I would still want numbers, because one is 100%. Even one, if mediation happens and that's the only mediation that happens, that's also 100%. We would really want to know in terms of numbers. Because
no, but okay, in terms of numbers, for example, the program of the government of Buenos Aires, they do around 6,000 mediation per month, okay, 100% online. But before the pandemic, they was running around 10,000 per year.
Okay. So this is going to be the situation with online dispute resolution.
20 million inhabitants country.
We missed something that you said in between, Alberto. Would anyone wants to give any comment up till Alberto comes in? Please, you can. So Giovanni, what you're saying that everything went online.
Also in Italy during the pandemic, especially in last year, 2010, almost all mediations went through ODRs. It was a strong revolution, especially from a psychological point of view, because almost all courts were closed or didn't work. And many lawyers, even if they didn't like mediation too much, were almost obliged to use mediation through ODR. And they saw that they can save a lot of time, and also some private parts realize that it can be used as a new channel that creates some problem, but in certain situations, it could be very useful.
Okay, but no, that's no, Giovanni, if you still need numbers, how many are happening? How many mediations in general are happening? And out of, like, if you said everything went online, not a problem.
I don't know the exactly numbers, because even if I think there are no public figures by the Ministry of Justice about mediations online in the last year. And also, I didn't have a look on the statistical figures because last year it was really a problem for everything. What I realized just hearing, just change ideas with fellow colleagues, fellow mediators, that the most important things was the psychological effect. That if you can go to the lawyer's office, or if you can go to the mediator's office, you can use internet. And it's just the starting point of a very huge revolution. I think that if I heard well, Alberto reminded the signature, the electronic signature. In Italy, we have the certified electronic signature from almost 10 years. And the European Union is working on a European signature, certified signature. This is very important for the international commercial mediation. And I don't know what's the situation in Asia or in the States or in South America.
We are far ahead. India has been, we've had electronic signature for a very, very long time. So we have no problem on that front. So not a problem. But I think the interesting one that I found was these community mediation centers where they were actually, I mean, the parties sitting in a particular center and the mediator being outside. I think that is the kind of model which has to be developed in India, where you have these village centers and that the mediator be anywhere in the country or the world, maybe. I think that needs to be developed. So Alberto is coming in. So Prabhat, we'll take your question with him as soon as he comes in. Hello, Mr. Panchu.
Hi, Vikram.
How are you?
Good.
This is nice. This is where are you sitting in Himachal? Okay, no, okay. This is the Himachali cat, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
But how?
Himachali topi.
But how are you feeling now?
Little better. I had a bad fall.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But no injuries as such.
No injuries as such. Nothing broken.
Okay. So basically what we had was Alberto was giving us his presentation. He's from Argentina. He set up a wide network of online dispute resolution. That's what he's focusing on. But only thing is he was in and out. His signal was an issue. But we'll just say bye to him and then we'll just Alberto, you want to come in?
Hello, Alberto.
Okay, now just to say bye-bye to everybody.
First say hi to Mr. Panchu. Mr. Panchu is a very, I mean, he's the mediator in India, I would say. So you can say hi to him.
Hello, Alberto.
Hi, Mr. Hello, Panchu. Nice to meet you. And just I'd like to thank you very much this opportunity, Vikram, to be talking with you a little bit about what we are doing for the last 15 years. And congratulations for this tremendous effort.
Thank you. No, but stay with us. We can have because lots of questions we had for you because you were not here. We can take it up a little later. So please.
Yeah, the problem is now we are in the morning. We have to teach my class at university.
Okay. Perfect.
I will see the recording later.
All right.
Thank you very much. And have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye, Alberto. Bye.